Welcome to my lab. Yeah, we're shooting inside here in the quiet because this is just going to be a little quickie because I wanted to talk a little bit about this since guitar season is coming up. You may ask, what is guitar season? It's when everything becomes sunny and nice, which today is looking like off and on. And so we're going to talk a bit about my guitar projects. Because yeah, believe it or not, even though I barely post much guitar stuff anymore on YouTube, I still play. I'm going to try to keep this as a quickie because I'm trying to create more content for my channel. So this is what I do a lot of the time. Anyway, it's a little tiny freaking shed because I work in an apartment. Is where I do all my building at. So we're going to talk a bit about what's in here, what I do. Here's the tour. First off, we have my drum sander, which I use for sanding bodies. Then you can see wood scraps. I'm doing some prototypes using reclaimed wood. Because why not? You know, one of the things everybody gets a guitar making for is using fine woods. Everyone's like, you need a tone wood, you need babinga and spruce. I'm like, let's try building some stuff with some more eco-friendly solutions like broken up pallets and driftwood and stuff that nobody really wants, Stuff you find thrown into a pile to be disposed of. Let's try that and see if it works. That's my stance on tone wood. Tone wood isn't really about, and this is just the short version. Tone wood for me isn't really about the species of the wood. It's about the density and the hardness and how much weight it has. I've been building guitars since I was 14. I'm 38 now. Every instrument I've ever built, I can honestly say, sounded really good. And I've been using cheap crap like this the whole time. I've never used ash or alder, except, in rare cases. So, as you can see here on the bottom, we have a few palette blanks I'm putting together. Usually the way I make those is I plane them flat, glue them together, and then I use these cross plates to screw them in, strategically placing the screws where I'm either going to be routing wood out or where I'm going to be cutting wood off to make the body shape. All right, here we've got a stack of bodies I've started working on. At the bottom we have a Paul Dean machine. Next up we have a Jagstang, a Jaguar, and a Stallion. Or Mustang. I have kind of my own names for these, just in case I ever start selling them, so I don't breach copyright, but I am not announcing too much on that just yet, at least. Here's some more wood, reclaimed 2x4. I'm tempted to build a Firebird build out of that. It's big enough. More reclaimed pallet wood. Some of this stuff is actually good hardwood that would work for necks, so I'm going to probably attempt to build some of my first decent necks this year, hopefully. Here's the tool and in progress bodies rack. Over here I have my giant Super Mario mallet. Yeah. I use this more for body work, but sometimes it is needed for certain things. Sandpaper for my sanders. I have my Black & Decker router. This thing looks like a death trap. It probably is. It doesn't have a safety face shield on here. I have to wear safety glasses when I use this. And it's especially important with this one because if any chunks fly up, there's no plexiglass cover to protect me there. It also doesn't have a bag on it, so it just throws chips everywhere. It's a massive sweeping job when I'm done. Jigsaw, this is what I cut the bodies out with. It's a Tack Life with its own case. I actually love this thing. This thing will rip a guitar body out in like 10 minutes. Once I have the blank glue together, once I got it sanded enough, oh my god. I was like, there was one afternoon, I had a whole stack of blanks. That's where these were done. I ripped through all those bodies in like 20 minutes. I had like 5 guitar bodies already cut up, ready for routing. And right now you can see where I've got green marks. That's me refining the body shape and trying to get it exactly where I want it. I have my BC Rich Warlock right here. It's the 2001. This is the Gladbag brown one that you used to see in my older videos. My wife custom painted this. It's sort of a multi-tone 80s interesting kind of purple pink that I really like. Actually, now I think about it, I should give her a Jazzmaster. Do some kind of like psycho version of the Rick Ocasek Jazzmaster. And speaking of Jazzmasters, here's my Jagmaster that used to be Sunburst. Now it's transparent green. And I'm thinking about making it 24 3/4 inch scale, and it's getting a Jazzmaster rhythm circuit put in it. Here's the Explorer guitar, one of like the 3 I've had. This one is being painted into Ford Oxford white, or appliance white. I am not sure. My idea for this one is we're going to fill in the neck pickup cavity just a bit so I can put a P90 in it. And then I'm going to put a 24 3/4 inch scale neck on there and a Floyd. And it's going to probably, I'm thinking about one of the first prototype necks I'm going to build is going to go on this guy. It's just too cool. Dremel Moto tool. Might break that out at some point to do the nut on a guitar this or next weekend, not sure. We got 2 sanders over here. The I don't know what you call the square ones that vibrate back and forth like that. But that's the one back that I've been using, and I got this random orbital sander for Christmas, which I mucho prefer using this over that for guitar body, both shaping and smoothing out. Here is my pull saw. This is the one I used to build my Mad Rag guitar with. This actually works pretty well at cutting out bodies if you're going to do it by hand as a Lowry or Irwin pull saw like this. This one needs to get replaced, or at least the blade does, because it's been used really hard. And I keep it in there because the sheath disappeared, so... Power planer, I just keep it in its original box. Yeah, the rest of the shit's just personal shit, except this up here. All my chemicals, excuse me, wood stripper, eco-friendly, shellac, that's what I'm using for clear coat. Got some gray, why is this upside down? Oh, that's wood conditioner. I love using that stuff to make the grain pop. Gel stain, this is black gel stain, I've got gray over here, which is what I used on that guitar. Some foam sanding blocks for hand sanding, and of course fake blood. Since I haven't mentioned it in any videos, I've been playing in the last 2 years in a horror themed rock band, and so if I ever need to build another guitar that's Stephen King'd out or Scott Cawthon'd out, then this is one of my tools of the trade for creating horror themed guitars. There's my workbench. I just use 2 sawhorses. The clamps fit down into those, and then I can have a workbench temporarily. And then these are the next 2 projects on the bill. Floyd Rose equipped Super Strats. Of course, y'all know that's not my usual thing, but these are both bodies and necks I've had a while. This one's one nobody on my channel has ever seen. This is actually a Kramer I bought for parts. It's a Striker 300 ST body with a Focus 6000 neck that had been cracked in 3 different spots. I re-glued and fixed all the cracks, refinished. Actually, my wife refinished this. I'm letting her do a lot of the painting. In sort of a lavender color. I still have some other work to do on this one. It's got the recessed Floyd 2 style route. I'm just going to put this will make a nice repro guitar for somebody who wants an interesting different color. And I always liked this color anyway, ever since I saw a Jeff Beck Stratocaster pack when I was starting out in the early 90s. because Jeff Beck had one in this color. I'm going to do something a little more original. I've actually been half tempted to clone my red 85 Kramer Focus 3000 into this body. I'm scooting over here. Got a Vester Concert 2. Yeah, this is the old boxing glove guitar that you saw a handful of times. I stripped it down because it was just looking absolutely beat up and it was starting to chip and peel, so stripped it down to the bare wood, found it had this really nice veneer on the top, and so I tried to stain that veneer gray and have it look good. Every time it would get wiped off when I was, wet sanding or something. I was just and I couldn't get the stain to take, and it looked absolutely horrid, so I tried an experiment, and this is what I call fake silver wood. And it basically reproduces the grain pattern. Of course, it's a shellac finish, so it's gonna be more silver and more wood colored in other places, and it gives it kind of this cool grungy vibe that I like. And then, but what needs done to this one needs I need to put pickups, pick guard, cover plates, Floyd Rose, and the plug-in on this one on the Kramer. I'm also going to get a Kramer decal on here, repro one. I don't think anyone sells a proper decal, so I'm just going to put Kramer on the headstock because, they deserve credit for their work. The Vester, I've got the cover plates already cut out for it. One problem this guitar had, and the reason why I didn't use it much, was because the truss rod was stuck. Well, lo and behold, I figured out what it was. It was a flaw from the factory. The truss rod, somewhere in here, is a metal rod that runs through the neck. I heard it when it finally broke free and it started working, and oh my god, this thing plays great now. And I had it set up like that for a while. What I did was I had to loosen the truss rod, then tighten it, and then kind of bend the neck just a little bit. And I managed to shimmy the truss rod loose, and it started working. And now it's holds the neck perfectly straight, and the action's really low, which is exactly what I want. But on this one, I need to get pickups, tremolo, electronics, Floyd Rose, tuners, cover plate. One thing I'll show you on this one, I'm going to be jamming some extra electronic stuff in this thing. I hate it when people build guitars like this, where they just put a big whack of chambering in back, and then they put a really simple circuit. It's what's the point? That's extra routing time. Maybe it's because of CNC machines manufacturing the thing, but I'm shoot, I could put an EQ, a Sustainiac, I could put synthesizer circuitry in here, and it would all be stealth. Nobody would know. Also, one of my bodies I still have yet to bring out here because I'm cleaning and organizing some more today. Yeah, spring cleaning. But yeah, there's my hand plane. I use that quite a bit too. I also have a headless. This is an idea that goes way, way back. So, back in the Lithium days when I was collecting Atari games like a crazy person, and I had an idea to build a guitar shaped like the Atari logo. And this guitar would be headless like a Steinberger. Well, I had this Xbox 360 hex pickup laying around with a hex pickup is basically 6 little miniature pickups that go underneath the strings, and it has an 8.5k ohm humbucker built in to the other side, a stacked humbucker. So it's like a humbucker size pickup with a hex pickup and a humbucker in it. So I thought to myself, wait a second, I could take that and shove it in that old idea and then put one of my homemade guitar synthesizers in it, build a polyphonic version, put it on a mixer amp, put it on a toggle switch. That'd be cool. So that might be a cool instrument that might turn up eventually. I don't know how soon, and that might be another good case for a prototype neck, because a headless neck is going to be even easier. Anyway, that's the shop. That's where I do all my building. It's creeping it, signing out.